Welcome to another Founder Wisdom Pod with Milos Pesic. We're going to talk about hospitality today, as Milos is founder at M&G Hospitality. This podcast is brought to you by podpar.com, my podcasting company, if you want to start or scale a podcast. Milos, welcome to the pods. Tell me a bit more about yourself and about your business.
Thank you, Charles, and nice to be here with you. I'm a hospitality professional for more than, actually for almost 2 decades. And I basically started from the bottom line positions such as waitering, a receptionist and all that. And then transitioned through various managers positions up to the position of the GM of the hotel. So I had the opportunity to run a couple of hotels here in the region, in Serbia, and also in some neighboring countries. So I consider myself to be basically a hotelier, which means that it's a niche of a hospitality industry with some different kind of approach in terms of how to provide service to the guest.
So what is your definition of hospitality? Because you've been in the field for quite some time. Like, how do you serve guests appropriately so that they have their best experience?
Yeah, in order to serve your guest, you need 2 points. First of all, you need to know who you are, or at least who you want to be, and then from that point, you then consider who are your guests, and from there you take it in order to provide the service. Because in order to meet the expectations of the guest, you need to kind of have a feeling of what is the expectation of the guest even before they arrive in your facilities. So basically, that's why you need to know who you are and to at least have some kind of idea of who your guests are. In that way, you are more capable in meeting the expectation, and then from that point, you can start thinking about how to actually exceed that expectation, how to overcome it, and how to be the best you can.
Why did you decided to go into hospitality in the first place?
Well, to be honest, that was more or less by chance. It wasn't exactly a plan. I was just young and exploring my opportunities, and hospitality was at that time one of the starting and developing fields in Belgrade, in Serbia, and it was just an opportunity that I took. I didn't actually think it through. It was just an option that was opening for me. But then from that, I mean, already in the first couple of months, I kind of started to falling in love. Then I also started to do college for hospitality, and then one thing led to another, let's say like that.
Right, and tell me about past experiences that you had as manager. I see here Winshead Swiss, Serbia. So you were CEO of that for quite a while. You were general manager at Garnier Hotel. What did you learn from all of these experiences better serving customers?
Again, the line that I used just a couple of minutes ago about knowing guests is something that I learned along the way. It wasn't something that I understood from the beginning. But my first manager position was in a small Garni hotel. It's in the downtown of Belgrade. It's just 20 rooms, but it's a really nice and really dynamic place. So we kind of only served accommodation and breakfast, nothing special in terms of service, but had really a lot of interaction with the guests. And my fear in starting that hotel, because I was there also in the pre-opening of that hotel, was actually how the guest will react to such a limited service. But it wasn't actually any kind of a problem because they didn't have too much expectation, because it was a Ghani hotel. They basically knew where they're coming, and they were actually quite pleased in the way that the staff of the hotel was really polite, really close to the guest. When you are running a small hotel, if you are staying in a small hotel for, let's say, 2, maybe 3 days, you basically know every person that is working in a hotel, which is a big difference from a big size hotels, because you can be in a hotel for 7 days and you will always have a new roommate every day. Here, it's 1 or 2 ladies that you will be seeing, and you kind of quickly start to interact with them. They also interact with you, And it was really a nice experience, so that even in a really limited service hotel, you can actually have a great hospitality and a great service to the guest. From that point, I also I went to then really big, at least in Serbia terms, big hotel which has the 200 rooms, to also be a general manager of that hotel, and it's a ski resort. Completely a different story, and much more, much bigger expectations of the guest, and then it's immediately much harder to meet those expectations, and let alone to try to overcome it. So that was actually a really big school in terms of how you can to get to know the many different kinds of guests and how you can actually approach to them.
What about stress management when the guests have last minute problems? How do you keep your stuff together and keep calm so that you can resolve their problems?
Well, it's really important. No matter how upset the guest looks like, you as a hotelier need really to keep your calm, and to not have that look that you are in a trouble or that you are in any kind of a misplaced. So it depends. Is it the inconvenience of the guest provided? Are you the fault of that feeling of the guest, or it's just some situation of the guest? But all in all, if you know your product in terms of hotel, looking at hotel as a product, if you know your level of service, you can always understand your position at that moment. If the guest is complaining about something which you can assume that it's probably right, then you have one path that you will take in order to calm the guest and to provide a solution. If you from another point see that the guest is just being kind of unreasonable, let's say, then you will take a different path, and you will just talk about the standards, about procedures of the hotel. Maybe you are maybe the guest didn't understand well. You will repeat a lot of those procedures, and just kind of put yourself in a positions where you are safely on your ground, and just explaining to the guest what's the situation. So, but you need to know your product, your hotel, and your level of service in order to have that calm state of mind, even when the situation is stressful.
And how does that transfer to what you do nowadays in your current consultancy business? What services do you offer to whom? And what's your unique selling proposition?
Yeah. Well, even actually at this point, I'm in a hotel room where I'm working as a chief consultant in a hotel that's been open just 2 weeks. So we are in this project for already 1 year, and this is also one of the things that we are doing. So we like to be a part of the project, the hotel project, as soon as we can, even if it's just a plain field. That's the ideal situation where we can start. So yeah, experiences that I took from my career, I am now developing in my own company, and we are doing more or less any kind of consulting for hospitality industry, even if it's just providing some kind of advisory services, or even doing some projects, creating budgets, creating plans for newly open hotels, or hotels that is being already working but want to work better. We are also doing trainings in terms of short trainings, just let's say a day of training, or even just a couple of hours, or some kind of long-term trainings such as for this hotel where I'm now, where we are, because the hotel was just being opened, we did 2 months training program for the entire staff of the hotel, so that as soon as the hotel is open, we can have some standards, procedures, and level of service. So more or less, anything that has to do with hospitality can be a part of my interest, and can be a part of our portfolio.
Right. And how do you get these new clients? How do you target them?
Well, Serbia is not actually a huge market, especially in global terms. So a lot of people know me. I know a lot of people, so direct connections is definitely the most valuable resources. And then of course, that maybe seems like the easiest way, but it's actually the also one of the difficult ones, because if you make mistake, everybody will instantly know that, and the entire market will react to that. Then again, the good thing is if you did a good job, more or less, everybody will know that you did a good job. When I was a part of a Swiss company called Winsett Swiss, I also had the opportunity to um, deliver here in Serbia, but also in some foreign countries, a licensed training program of École Hôtelière de Lausanne. It's a Swiss school for hospitality management, and it's definitely the oldest, but probably, if not the best, then definitely one of the best hospitality schools in the world. And we did their license training program that's lasting for 18 months, but not to go much into details with that, but it was also a really nice experience, especially because I got the opportunity to do training sessions in some other countries, to meet different cultures and how they see hospitality. So yeah, that was also a fun part of the career.
Is opening an hotel still a good investment in 2024? Isn't it like better to open a series of Airbnb or just to buy condos? Like, tell me about the investment perspective of opening your own hotel.
Well, I will only be speaking from the point of Serbia market. I will not to be misinterpreted that I'm talking about European or anything much bigger than the country where I am. In Serbia, it's a good point. It's actually for the past even 15 years, in terms of hospitality in general, Serbia is a growing market. We have always double-digit growth in foreign overnight staying. Our Air Serbia, the domestic international company, is growing also. Serbia also recently acquired we will be hosts for Expo 2027. It's a world expo, so it will be something that will put Belgrade and Serbia in general in, let's say, spotlight for maybe even a couple of months or even a whole year of 2027. So in terms of local market and domestic travels, it's growing. It's a good situation. The economy is rising for past, I don't know, maybe 5, even 10 years. So we have domestic foreigners in growth, and also foreign. So in terms of Serbia and investing in hospitality in Serbia, it's a good moment, and it will be probably like that for at least 5 future years. So if anybody is interested to make an investment in hospitality in Serbia, yeah, we can talk about that.
And the tourism market in Serbia, I mean, I've been to Serbia as a digital nomad because the connection of Wi-Fi was good there. There seemed to have a couple of things to visit. I had friends there. Why is the tourism market growing in Serbia?
I would say that one of the good reasons, especially for the foreign travelers coming to Serbia, is that actually Serbia has a quite liberal visa system. You almost can come from many part of world and not have a visa for Serbia. This means that at this point, and I will say it again, even in this point, we receive travelers from Western Europe, from Russia, from Brazil, from India, from China, without any limitations. And we also have a domestic airline company which is flying directly to that countries. So that's a good situation, definitely. And it's easy to travel to Serbia from those countries. We are a small market. It's not that we are such a big player and that every person in that country knows for Serbia. But, you know, if you have a country that will have couple of tens of thousands travelers to Serbia, that's a huge market for us. I mean, we are a country of 6.5 million people, so it's not exactly that we are too huge. So that's definitely one of the reasons. And the other reason is something that I think it's also important. The economy is doing well for the past few years, so domestic travelers are also rising, and Serbian people are more and more traveling inside their own country.
Right. Now, let's say that I want to open my hotel in Serbia. I think I would aim for the high end and luxury market just because the margins are bigger and there's few player in that niche. Would that be good thinking? And if so, like how could I scale this 5-star hotel into a household name in Serbia?
That would depend on actually location. Location is as Mr. Hilton used to said, it's always location, location, location. So if it's a Belgrade hotel, you can be aiming for a high-end 5-star hotel. We are actually just opening. We are now waiting in Belgrade to open St. Regis, which is a really huge international high-end brand, and it's being opened in a new building in basically new part of the city of Belgrade, but it's really in the downtown of the city. It's called Belgrade Waterfront. So it's a completely different kind of level of hospitality than the one that we are currently having. So Belgrade is a much more. Belgrade is even bigger market than Serbia in general. So Belgrade is one market for itself. Then for the rest of the Serbia, you would be probably looking for more something which can be multifunctional in ways that you will be probably having some kind of a hotel which can offer something for individual travelers, also something for congress and events. Probably you will need at least decent spa and wellness so that families will come for swim and to time to enjoy. So it's depending on the location. Serbia is not we are not exiting on the sea. We have just a couple of high mountains which can offer ski destinations. So skiing it's an option, but not on too many places. So you need some kind of relaxing tourism, let's say like that.
Right. What are your top goals for this year? Your top 3?
My top 3 is to have let's say a signature in this hotel which is just being opened, where I'm a main consultant. It's something that it's really the most important thing for me to make that hotel well known, to make it something that will be recognized on the market, that will offer some kind of I wouldn't say exactly the highest quality. It's not about being in the highest quality. It's to offer a different experience. So that's the project where I'm currently involved is something that I'm hugely interested for. I also want to, with some of my colleagues, of course, I'm not doing anything completely by myself. It's always somebody with me. We are developing a training plan that we want to offer to the market in general. So not exactly to a single hotel, but to offer a training plan that can be attractive to the market in general. And let's say that third one would be more something to do with my personal life in terms of having a great year, to be healthy, to maybe even expand my family or something like that. Yeah.
Very cool. Where can people find out more about you, Milos?
We have a live website, which is mghospitality.rs. It's really a modest website, but it's been I actually created it by the help of GPT. So it's not exactly that it's too fancy, but it's just a landing page basically to have the feeling that I'm real, that we are real, and that you can get in touch with us. It has a small information about the company and myself and my colleague. There is also email address. So let's say that that's the fastest way to meet us.